Okay, so for my nutrient, I chose a trace nutrient. I chose fluoride, so I'm going to go ahead and start. I chose fluoride for a few different reasons, but one of the reasons was because I wanted to learn a little bit more about it for myself. I think that this is um, a nutrient that most people don't know too much about, and I wanted to learn a little bit more about it so that I could make sure that I'm getting enough fluoride so that I can have healthy teeth. And so, just to start, so fluoride, um, this is its little symbol on the periodic table, but fluoride is a trace mineral. Um, so it's one of the minerals that we take in, but it isn't essential for our body. And fluoride, it helps prevent dental caries. Caries is just another word for tooth decay or cavities. And so that's what fluoride does. That's the description of it. So I went ahead and I looked up the adequate intakes and upper intake levels of fluoride. So fluoride doesn't have an um, RDI because it has an AI. And so I went ahead and looked at the AIs and UIs for infants, children, men, and women. So for infants, from 0 to 6 months, they want 0.01 milligrams a day of fluoride, and 6 to 12 months, 0.5 milligrams a day. The limit for infants who are 0 to 6 months is 0.7 milligrams a day, and the limit for a 6 to 12 month old is 0.9 milligrams a day. For children, it's still rather small. For if you're 1 to 3 years old, they suggest that you get 0.7 milligrams a day, and then but that you don't get over 1.3 milligrams a day. And then if you're 4 to 8 years, you get 1 milligram a day, but you don't get over 2.2 milligrams a day. While you're in your younger years, it's important for you to get fluoride because that's what's helping to strengthen your teeth. And as your teeth, your baby teeth are leaving and your permanent teeth are coming in, you want to make sure that your teeth are healthy and strong and that you're getting enough fluoride so that you can strengthen them. For men, I thought it was pretty interesting. So if you're 9 to 13, you can have 2 milligrams a day. And if you're 14 to 18, 3 milligrams a day. And then from 19 all the way up to as long as you live, you can have 4 milligrams a day, but you can't have more than 10 milligrams a day. So even though the AIs differ for ages, the upper intake limit never changes for men. And for women, if you're 9 to 13, they say to have 2 milligrams a day. And if you're 14 or older, 3 milligrams a day. This 3 milligrams a day does not differ for women who are pregnant or lactating. So pregnant and lactating women they still say to have 3 milligrams a day. So you don't have to increase your intake of fluoride just because you're pregnant or lactating. And the upper limit is just the same as men. It's still 10 milligrams a day. Now we're going to talk about some major functions. So fluoride helps to prevent cavities, avoid the mottling of teeth. And what mottling is, it's when you get those little spots on your teeth, the little white spots on your teeth. That's actually called mottling. And it's from fluoride. Too much fluoride can cause those dark spots on the teeth. But I believe also if you have too little of fluoride, it could cause that. Another major function is that fluoride helps to resist bacteria, and it supports the deposition of calcium and phosphorus in your bones and teeth, and that's what helps them to stay strong. Also, it's the bacteria in your mouth that causes cavities. The bacteria and acids in your mouth together. If they're not cleaned out properly, can cause cavities. I believe that it said that there's actually only 2 different bacteria in your mouth that cause cavities out of all the bacteria that's in your mouth, but fluoride helps to prevent that. And so just a little thing about protection. So fluoride helps to protect or prevent dental caries, which I explained earlier, but I just wanted to make sure that everyone understood what caries meant, just because I'll be talking and using that word a little bit more throughout the presentation. And so a dental carie is just another name for tooth decay or a cavity. So the major source of fluoride comes from water. Most places that have like city water and stuff like that, they actually put fluoride in them. And you can get fluoride tablets and add it to other water sources as well. And I found it interesting that fluoride can also be found in tea, seaweed, and in seafood. So too little or too much of anything is never good for us. And so I just wanted to go over what happens if we have too little, which would result in a deficiency, or what happens if we have too much fluoride, which would result in toxicity. So a deficiency in chloride, a lack of chloride, can cause the dental caries that we had talked about. And that is harmful because there can be a lot of health problems that are related to cavities. Also, if you have cavities in your mouth or tooth decay, it causes a lot of pain for the individual who's experiencing it. It's uncomfortable and things like that. So for toxicity, too much fluoride intake can result in acute toxicity, which can be rapid. So this acute toxicity could come on suddenly, and it can also be life-threatening. However, normally this doesn't happen unless a water source is contaminated, but you can see it in young children if they take in too much fluoride. Sometimes, like if you have mouthwash or a fluoride supplement or toothpaste that a child is swallowing in large amounts, it can cause this toxicity. And the symptoms of this can include nausea, vomiting, spasms, sweating, diarrhea, convulsions, or even a coma. It just depends on the severity of it. But most of the time, if we're just taking fluoride in our water and as we are brushing our teeth, there isn't too much of a chance that we get toxicity or that it's toxic to us, only if our water happens to be contaminated or swallowing way too much of it. So to talk about fluoride and how the metabolism works with it. So fluoride, I kind of talked about earlier how it's a trace mineral and it's not considered an essential nutrient. And so because of that, the body doesn't need it to perform all of its basic functions. So if we didn't have fluoride and our body could still perform all of its basic functions, we would just have, we just wouldn't have the strength in our teeth that we have now. And so when fluoride is taken into the body, it's absorbed in the stomach and the small intestine. And 80 to 90% of fluoride that is taken in is absorbed. And so I just wanted to go over a few interesting facts that I found, highlight some things that I learned, and then just this article that I found that I thought was pretty interesting. So for interesting facts, I thought it was so interesting that it said that fluoride could be found in seafood and seaweed. Fluoride also is deposited into our teeth and bones, highest during infancy and childhood and adolescence. And I thought that was so interesting because the AI and the UL for fluoride intake during each of those stages of life is rather low compared to when we're older adults. And so I thought that it was interesting that even during infancy and childhood, when we still have our baby teeth, that it's important for us to get that fluoride deposited into our teeth and our bones then, to strengthen them. And that's something that I just thought was interesting and that I did not know before. So recent media postings, there's this article on Medical News Today from last month, and it was on why do we have fluoride in our water. And it talked about how fluoride is naturally found in food, water, and soil. And I was not aware that you could find fluoride in the soil. I guess maybe I was a bit naive to that idea, but I did not realize that fluoride was in the soil. It also talked about how too much fluoride can lead to skeletal and dental fluorosis. So to go back to the beginning, mottling is just when you have too much fluoride, not when you have too little. But also too much fluoride can lead to skeletal and dental fluorosis, and that causes damage. And that can also cause like the white spots on your teeth. And so I thought that was interesting. I didn't realize that you could ever take in too much fluoride, since it is like in your water and stuff like that. That's just something I did not realize before. And then it's just something that just really stuck out to me when I was reading through the book and all the other websites that I used for this, was how fluoride strengthens the teeth, and how it protects it from these dental caries or these cavities and tooth decay. And I think that's the most important part. And so that's why I use that as my media highlight. I think that's the most important part, that we realize that fluoride is important because it strengthens and protects our teeth. And so just for the take-home message, make sure that fluoride is taken in during childhood. My interesting fact said that when you have more fluoride in infancy, childhood, and adolescence, that's when your fluoride is best absorbed and used for your body. And so it's important that you're taking it in during those times to help strengthen your teeth. But also watch that you're not taking in too much. You don't want to brush your children's teeth multiple times a day because you think that all the fluoride is going to help, because that could actually hurt them. So just make sure that you're brushing their teeth, and if you don't have fluoride in your water, make sure you use fluoride toothpaste and mouthwash. So back home, I live on a farm, and so we have well water, and we don't have fluoride in our water. And we didn't realize this in the beginning, and so it wasn't until my siblings and I started getting really bad cavities, and we didn't eat too many sugars and stuff like that. And so we went to the dentist, and there was we weren't getting enough fluoride, is what the dentist was telling us. And so we had to start using more fluoride toothpastes and mouthwashes, and they also have little supplements that you can use, fluoride supplements. But it's important because without that, it's easier. Without fluoride, it's easier for your teeth to decay because of the bacteria and the acid that builds up on them, and that's in your mouth. And then just as a conclusion, if you have any questions, it's important to talk to your dentist. Your dentist can help you to find a fluoride toothpaste that's right for you. I know a lot of dentist office carry special toothpaste that have extra amounts of fluoride in them. So you can talk to your dentist for that. And then also, if you think you're getting too much or too little, or if you want to know more, you can always talk to your dentist. Your dentist is a great resource to help you know what it is that you should be doing, because everybody is different as well. And then this is just a list of my references. And yeah, I'm grateful that I did this, that I picked fluoride. I learned a lot from it, and I hope that I can apply what I learned to my everyday life, and make sure that I'm getting enough fluoride so that my teeth can be healthy and strong, but also watching that I don't get too much. So thanks for listening, and if you have any questions, feel free to post them below my video, and I'll try to answer them. Thanks.